What's going on, guys? So I recently just installed my Dinger Built exhaust and am looking to get the full amount of power out of it. So I'm looking to install a Bazzaz, but I know that I need to unplug some wires behind the airbox for the injector. So why work twice as hard when I gotta make a video about it anyways? So today we're gonna do the first mod of installing the MNNTHBX from MNNTHBX, and then there are other support pieces as well. First step, we're gonna take off all these plastics so we can make it a little bit easier to work on the bike. So now that the plastics are off, we're gonna take off the horn. We're gonna relocate that. Well, once we're done, then we're gonna take off the one Phillips screw on top of the airbox up here. And we're gonna move around to the other side. And before we jump over to the other side, I'm just gonna disconnect these hoses. Just kind of pull it. This is gonna be your crankcase breather. We'll tie that up somewhere else later on. And then you're also gonna have a hose attached to this, the front of the airbox that's running down here. You can disconnect that as well. We're gonna be taking out this screw up here. Wash behind there. And then there's one way tucked up in there, right behind the throttle cable. That's the word. Way back in there. Come on. Might actually have to use a real screwdriver. No, we're good. Yep, airbox is loose. And now we just gotta remove the actual coupler. Of course, mine is right behind the throttle cable, or the clutch cable. So I'll be right back with an actual screwdriver. I'm gonna loosen that all the way up. Should try to rotate this. Oh, also don't forget about your little cable stay. Just pulls right out of there. Pop. Come on. Oh, there we go. Kind of fandangle that out of the way. There we go. And just some observations that this is a pretty small inlet for a throttle body, but what can you do? And you can't really open it up if you wanted to like port it out a little bit, polish it up, but I mean, I guess that's maximizing the efficiency from the factory, or maybe just need a bigger throttle body if I decide to ever go fully big bore over like a 143 kit. And when installing this, I would recommend having both hose clamps kind of loose so you can kind of move everything around while you slide everything in. You're lining up the bracket with the stock mounting tab that you removed from there. And it comes with a Allen head screw. And we're going to put this pre-filter on to keep out any moisture, or well, water, mainly in mud when we go off-roading. I'm going to leave it just like that, just at the edge for now. And then once we actually put the hose clamp on, I'll move it over it so I don't pinch it and possibly rip it. And you might have seen in the last clip how my cables were running on the outside. You actually want to make sure that the cables are running in that little loop right there. I also used the OEM cable holder, I guess, thing. Just put it back there with the screw, and it should be good. And then also the kit comes with a crankcase breather filter. It comes with a hose clamp and a zip tie, which is nice. I'm going to take the crankcase breather hose, put that on there, just squeeze the clamp a little bit. There, that's good. Now we're gonna zip tie it with the supplied zip tie, just up out of the way to somewhere where it won't suck up water if I go through a big puddle. Instead of mounting the horn back in the OEM spot, I'm actually just gonna remove it from this little bracket and put it up here on that old airbox mounting spot. we go. Just gotta plug it in, and it doesn't matter which prong you put it on, so still gonna work no matter what. And all that's left to do is put the plastics back together and insert the new fairing rod. Don't throw this away too quickly, because you do need to grab the rubber bushing peg stopper thingies that the plastic clip into, because you got to insert it into the end of the carbon fiber rod that is indestructible and super lightweight because it is carbon fiber. You know, I don't know how they make these things, because you know, carbon fiber is indestructible. They must use like some diamond stuff to cut it, would be my guess. Because you know, nothing's stronger than diamonds. And super simple to install. You just push it on the peg on the other side, opens up a space, push it together, boom! And that is what holds it together. And that pretty much wraps it up, guys. It's a pretty simple 15-minute install, and a little bit of information as to why I chose this over like a Chimera or just one of those metal intakes in general. I personally feel that being metal is going to heat up the air going into your engine and kind of, I don't know. I feel like the silicone isn't going to heat up, so I don't know. Probably doesn't affect it at all, but to me in my brain it thinks, you know, hotter intake air, not as good since the engine and all that is kind of combined in there, but whatever. If you guys want to check it out, I'll leave links down in the description, as well as to the 3-pack of stuff for the brace, crankcase breather, and what's the other thing? Oh, the pre-filter for when you go off-roading. But that wraps it up, guys, and we'll see you next time.